Going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of BKNY Hoops. If you're new to the channel, it's your boy Rashid. All right, let's get into it. You see the title of the show, you see the actual graphics. Danny Wolf is actually being sent to the G League as per Clutch Points. This article is basically saying, and we get into the regular rotation of the Brooklyn Nets. But the key topic over here, the key player here is Danny Wolf. Now, this article from Clutch Points says it's a new look, right? And yeah, Michael Porter's actually new. Um, what's his name? Yegor Demon is actually new somewhat, and I guess Terrence Mann. So it is a new look, but the problem over here is really, guys, you know how I feel about Nick Claxton now, right? And even like Cam Thomas, who is quite in a hole, is going to really make his Chinese debut next season in 2026. I am getting my Chinese basketball package ready to go, man, to see Cam Thomas in China. They gonna say, Cam Thomas, you can be like a Kobe Bryant. You don't have to pass, and you could take a lot of shots. Okay, you don't have to pass the basketball. You could be like Kobe Bryant. All right, so all right, as you guys can actually see here, and this is basically the title of this article. Maybe I'll steal the article, man, and probably their title. But it says new look rotation ahead of the regular season opener. So yeah, Diego Demon, Ben Sarif, Nolan Troyer. Nolan Troyer, I don't know, is an NBA player. They talking about really sending him to the G League. But we've seen guys like really shining in the G League. The difference between the G League and the pros is the actual length. So we've seen Killian Hayes have like, it was like he had a game, 25 points, 18, 19 assists, but then when he gets into the NBA, he'll struggle against like NBA length. So Cam Thomas, Tyrese Martin, Drake Powell. Now, I don't know how Tyrese Martin is ahead of Drake Powell on the depth chart right here, man. I don't really understand this because Tyrese Martin, maybe he'll give you a good game like one every 10 games or 12 games. I mean, he's a C player. So I mean, he's a G League player. Drake Powell, even coming out of college, shot like 37% from three, and I like what I've seen from him in terms of him being able to handle and pass the basketball. Granted, it was a limited sample size. We have to see what they can actually do against like the real pros. But it says over here Tyrese Martin was on a non-guaranteed contract but earned the roster spot after a strong training camp performance. The training camp is one thing, man. We have to see how Tyrese Martin can actually do against real pros, and we seen it last season, man. I mean, why did we even bring him back? I don't understand, man. I mean, Drake Powell is a. I don't want to even. This team's starting to really piss me off, man. All right, so Terrence Mann, Zaire Williams. Now, Zaire Williams is actually really playing good, and they said Terrence Mann is penciled in as a starter, as the Nets' oldest player. So yeah, you definitely need some of that veteran experience in there. Zaire Williams, now he was shooting, I think, 35% in the preseason. So they really should actually give him some run. Jalen Wilson, send his ass right back to the G League, man. So I kind of agree with this rotation right here. Terrence Mann, Zaire Williams. Either way, you can actually go. But Tyrese Martin, man, I don't even know why he's even on the NBA roster right now, man. I don't really understand it, man. So the power forward position is Michael Porter Jr., Noah Clowney, and Haywood Highsmith. Of course, that's a given right there. Michael Porter Jr. definitely at that power forward position. Now, a lot of you guys will not agree with him being at the forward position, but because like in terms of his lack of physicality, he's not like Apollo Bencaro, right? He's not one of those type of guys. So, and he's not going to be able to guard those guys. But sometimes a good defense is a really good offense. You know, power forwards, big 240, 250, 60-pound guys do not like playing on the perimeter, man. So even though Michael Porter will take wide open threes, right? Those are still considered high percentage shots, right? They're still considered high percentage 3-point shots, you know, if he's actually wide open. Now, if the player's actually closing out on you, hopefully he can make like 37 to 38% of those type of closeout threes. So we'll see what actually happens there, man. I mean, basketball is about matchups. So if they have a slow power forward out there and Michael Porter Jr. is actually really hitting his threes, maybe that makes the defense have to adjust and go smaller so you can actually get out to the 3-point line quicker. And that can give Michael Porter Jr. An advantage. And hopefully they can get him on some switches where they can get smaller players onto him. And hopefully he should be able to like post those guys up. And be able to shoot over them and be able to see over the actual defense in itself, though. But now here's my problem right here. Big problem right here. All right, Danny Wolf, really out of the rotation and more than likely, and it says over here, is going through the G League. Okay, Danny Wolf, Nick Claxton is not better than Danny Wolf. He's just not. All right. You could say, oh, yeah, on paper, Nick Claxton is actually a better defender. But, again, what I just said with Michael Porter Jr., sometimes a good defense is a good offense. Claxton can't guard power forwards. He can't guard centers. And then he provides no offense other than a lob threat, right? So you have to be more than that. You have to give me more offensive versatility. It can't just be a lob every single possession for Claxton. You have to mix. You have to be unpredictable when it comes to, let's say, offense. So if they're gonna force you left, go left. Don't try to go right every single time. You got to mix your game up, man. And he doesn't really do that. Now, I would say if you're not going to start Danny Wolf, you start Day'Ron Sharpe. Day'Ron Sharpe is 265 pounds, and you need that big body to come up there and set screens for like guys like Yegor, Cam Thomas, because like Cam Thomas, the only way he's really going to actually have really, really good nights is if he actually really gets some mismatches. So you saw it during the Phoenix Suns game, especially the second half of the first one and the second one, that they were putting like Royce O'Neal. They were who's the other dude? Dylan. Oh man, what's his name, man? How can I forget his name, man? They were locking him up, man. They were physical with him, and they didn't really need, it's not like they needed to even send a double team. So you need Day'Ron out there to actually go out there and set picks for Cam Thomas to free him up. As I said, they put their best defender, which more than likely they're going to do. Force the ball out of Cam Thomas's hands, then force like a guy like Yegor to beat you, Tyrese Martin to beat you, Terrence Mann to really beat you. In terms of like percentages, being able to actually make tough shots, make shots. Cam Thomas is your best shot maker on this team, unfortunately. But like, let me get back into Danny Wolf. So Danny Wolf going into the G League is not going to do anything for him. You got to put him into real type situations. I want to see what he can actually do against real NBA talent, man. You're not going to really get a good assessment out of him if he goes down to the G League, because it's like me going out there playing against 15, 16-year-old kids or 12-year-old kids. You ain't going to say, yo, Rashid, yo, you nice. Playing against like 15-year-olds, man. You need to see me bust like a Division I player's ass, man. D1, D2. I mean that's going to really like command respect right there. Not me going against like 14-year-olds and busting their ass and destroying them, man. I mean it's not gonna it's not gonna work. So we gotta see. Like I said, we've seen players have good games, in the G League, but like there's a difference in the G League compared to NBA pros, man. Their length, and let Danny Wolf get adjusted to that, right? He can actually shoot. Oh, it was like I think it was 33%. I read 37% for Danny Wolf coming into the NBA from college, but it's still a better shooting percentage than Clowney, than Nick Claxton, and Day'Ron Sharpe. All right, so Day'Ron, he's not banging in with like he's not gonna like move Joel Embiid. Yeah, I get it. He's a great rebounder. It mentions his rebounding numbers. That's fine, but you have to score the basketball. And Nick Claxton going up against Jokic and going up against Joel Embiid and a lot of the top centers and power forwards, you got to be able to shoot the basketball, man. They're bigger, stronger, and more physical. You have to be able to shoot, and then, like, maybe then if you shoot a good percentage from three, now you could beat those guys off the dribble, right? You could pull them out, and you force the other team to make adjustments. But what's the definition of insanity? Trying the same thing over and over and over again and expecting like the actual same results. It hasn't worked with Nick Claxton. All right. And at least with Day'Ron is a big body that can at least set some picks. With Nick Claxton, he's so skinny. I mean, guys can get around the screens. So I don't understand like the mindset. You're not going to build this trade value up. You're not fooling anybody, man. I mean, this is not the 1980s. Sean Marks, where there was limited film out there. There's film out here, man. I mean, we have Nick Claxton's whole scouting report and his whole tendencies, everything broken down. He is who he is. You tried to get 2 first-round picks for him last season, and it didn't work. Nobody's biting. And I'll just say, honestly, he should really be out of the rotation because he causes spacing issues. Teams drop back on Claxton. So now when you have Yegor or Cam Thomas actually driving, right, there's a rim protector there. There's help side there. You got to be able to, like, let's say if Jonathan Isaac is playing center, yeah, you see how long he actually is, man. With Claxton there, you don't have to come up on him. You can just drop back and you can actually help. It's just crazy over here, man. Get Nick Claxton out of the rotation. I don't care how much money he makes. It's a bad contract signing. It's one of the it's actually the worst contract signing in NBA history, literally. All right, no emotion. The worst contract signing in NBA history. You're trying to put lipstick on a pig, Sean Marks. It's a pig. Seriously, man. All right, so let me know what you guys actually think in the comment section. What do you guys actually think the rotation should be? Do you agree with the rotation? Do you agree with Danny Wolf going to the G League? I'm looking back at this just one more time to see if I missed anything. And yeah, Ben Saraf, and he definitely outplayed Nolan Troyer in the definitely showed more poise in terms of being able to make the right reads. All right, so enough rambling for me. So definitely like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. When you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.